So what's good, homies? It's your man, Dr. BOA. You know, many times men forget one important factor about being in relationships with women. Women don't care about your feelings. So I say to you, and I ask you men the question right now, if you know women don't care about your feelings, why would you ever allow your feelings to get caught up with a woman? When you know she's not going to do the things necessary to protect them, to guard them, to prioritize them, to pedestalize them, to put them in a position where she understands that they are fragile and they need to be guarded and protected. It makes no sense to allow yourself to become emotionally attached to a woman. Any man who promotes emotional attachment to women is a simp, and he's a lame. Somebody sent me a story on IG where this guy who was obviously caught up with this woman, in love with this woman, expected loyalty and respect from this woman, thought that his love was being reciprocated, found out she was riding around cheating with another man, riding around cheating with him, in the car, in the city they live, in close enough proximity where she could see the man. These women don't even have the common decency to fly out of town. They're going to cheat with a man that's local. And I say this to you, men. If you're in a situation where you got to track the broad movement, regardless of how dirty and how slick she moves, you've gotten way too caught up with a woman. Because it'll lead to this. You, in a fit of rage, slamming your car into the car you see her in with this guy, risking taking all of you out. Over what? A broad? Let's take a deep dive on this one. But first, let's elevate to a higher plane. Prepare for takeoff.
What are you doing? Get over here! Call the police. A big old wreck out here and they all just took off. I don't think so. Look. Better stay away from me. They all just took off except for her.
Now, what you see in this video is a prime example of a man whose feelings are so raw. He's so hurt. He's so emotionally distraught over this broad that he's going to throw all caution to the wind, risk his life, his freedom, or both because of the emotional turmoil and damage that loving the wrong woman does to a man. And see, the thing is, men don't understand the early warning signals that you're with the wrong woman. There are early warning signals. And some of these are so subtle that if you don't pay attention to them, you'll overlook them. 9 times out of 10, when a woman cheats on you, it's because physically you don't do it for her. Has nothing to do with money. Has nothing to do with any of that. You could be in pretty good shape. But if your physical presence, not just your physical appearance, your physical presence, if your physical presence doesn't do it to her, if you don't have a domineering physical presence, then you're going to end up in a situation like this. Now, am I excusing the woman? No, because a woman knows before she gets with a man that she ain't rocking with him like that. She'll stay with that man anyway because that man is a provider. That's why I say you have to make women earn everything. If you make her earn everything, you keep her busy, she ain't got time to do things like this. She got too much free time if she got time to be traipsing around on the town with somebody. You don't have her busy enough to keep her occupied. Because it takes a woman's idle mind to come up with this. And I guarantee you, the other dude that she's running around with knew she had a man already. Women outnumber us 8-1. We don't outnumber them 8-1. You ain't so pressed that you got to go be with another man, woman. You ain't so pressed that you got to accept another man's sloppy seconds. You got to be the side dude. It makes no sense for any man to be cool with being a side dude because you got 8 options out there for yourself. And if a woman was crazy enough, low down enough, dirty enough, conniving enough, unwise enough to be with a man in a relationship that she don't even want, you let her deal with the consequences of that. Let her go to one of these shops and buy her some toys. Stop being a sponge for a woman's emotional issues based on the mistakes, or not even the mistakes, decisions that she made intentionally and willingly to be with a man that she didn't want so she could take advantage of his willingness to give. Now, if you are this man, you can't ruin your life over a broad. You can't take the chance of losing everything that you built over a broad, over her decision. Now, granted, if this is this man's wife, the word of God says, when you cheat with another man's wife, that man shall have no ransom. He don't want no ransom. You can't plead with him. That man wants you to pay. And so if you get taken out or something get done to you by a man because you slept with his wife, you get your just desserts. That's your just desserts. Because if you've done it once, you've done it before, you've gotten away with it. So when you finally don't get away with it and that man decides that he's going to take you out or do something harmful to you that affects your life in a negative manner forever, you got to take that on the chin. You got to deal with that. It's what you asked for. It's what you sought. But you have to control yourself and make sure that you stay out of this emotional attachment phase with these women, man. Women don't care about your emotional attachment. They look at your emotional attachment with them as a win for them. They don't look at it as some compatibility thing. They look at it as a win for them. Oh, I got him now. And a woman knows she got you when you don't put no performance pressure on her. She knows this. In any other aspect of life, a woman wins, she knows she got to keep getting better and keep winning. When she get with you guys just let her sit down and do nothing. I guarantee you there are things he could have this woman doing, but he would rather her just be able to sit down and do nothing and have time to run around town with some other dude. Tracking your schedule so she can know when you're not going to be around. Then you got to do something like this. You got to sneak and creep and act like you're going to be at work, but you're not, so you can follow her around. If your woman is bored, the Jezebel tendency will not be ignored. I don't care how good she is. If you leave her with an idle mind, she's going to be lured by the Jezebel energy, by the Jezebel demon force, homie. I'm telling you, they walk around looking for women that's idle. You ever wonder why the woman who has the most education don't really have that type of history where she's been with 50 million men? Because she was busy. Yes, the allure was there. She thought about it. She wanted to do it, but she was busy. She couldn't take time. You look at those same women who went to the same school, but didn't focus on really getting out of there, what they do? Built up reputations. It's easy for a woman to build up a reputation in high school because high school is just school. It ain't work. It ain't no responsibilities. Less pressure. Senior year is the easiest year of high school. Freshman year is by and large the toughest year of college. Maybe senior year, depending on what your major is. But across the board, first year in, boy, you on the grind. So I tell you, men, before you allow yourself to be in a situation where you ruin your own life over a broad, keep your emotions away from these women. Stop thinking you're supposed to love a woman. Stop thinking you're supposed to fall in love with a woman. Stop thinking you're supposed to be emotionally attached to a woman. Stop thinking you're supposed to be emotionally entrapped with a woman. Because you're not. It doesn't benefit you and it never will. You're going to be a man who's going to be caught up with a scallywag, who doesn't care that you're caught up with her, and doesn't even stop to think how what she's doing will affect you emotionally. Because deep down inside, women know men are not supposed to be emotional with them. They know it. They say they want it, but they only say they want it because they want to give it, and they feel like they're giving so much love that they want it to be reciprocated. But you don't reciprocate her love. This ain't about reciprocation. This is about rewards and punishment. You reward her for how she displays her love for you through her actions now, not through her words. Actions don't mean nothing. Words don't mean nothing. Only actions. And when you put her down on your team, you have to keep in mind that she must earn everything. There's nothing she can get that she doesn't earn. There's nothing she deserves that she doesn't earn. So if she got to earn everything, she ain't got time to be sitting still, sitting idle, worrying about some other dude. You should have something all through the day that you can talk to her about. Hey, shawty, you did this? Okay, now I need you to do that. I go take this. Yes, it is tougher than just living by yourself, being single. Okay, but if you want a woman, yes, you got to micromanage the broad. These guys talking about, man, you can't micromanage the woman. You got to micromanage a woman. You have to. Otherwise, you leave it to her own devices. You don't know what the hell she's doing. You don't know what she's doing. And the only way for you to keep track of it is to make sure you have her assignments and deadlines. Assignments and deadlines are necessary for relationships. But too many of you men are allowing a woman to give you assignments and deadlines instead of you giving them to her. And that is how you end up in a situation where you're riding around in your vehicle, chasing a woman around because she in the car with another dude. And you zoom as fast as you can and ram your vehicle into theirs. Not caring who you take out, not caring how much time you're going to face, not caring how many innocent people you're going to hurt. Because when he hit this car, it could have very well gone into these people's house. And obviously this man was standing at his door watching because he came right out the door. Keep in mind, as men, stay away from other men's women because you're going to get yourself killed if you don't. And if you got a woman and you know what kind of woman she is, you know she's probably going to be out there wilding out, doing whatever she want to do. You better keep your feelings away from her. Keep your paper away from her. And just get your whole self away from her. Because if you in love with a woman, man, a woman don't give a damn about your love. You might well be in love with yourself. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic, man. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. I'm out.
Trying to become the most alpha version of you. Trying to become the most alpha version of you. Striving to become